Have you ever wondered how a small settlement of shepherds and farmers became one of the most formidable empires in ancient history? Immerse yourself in the rich tapestry of Rome's inception, a tale shrouded in both historical fact and mythical lore. Our journey begins in the 8th century BCE. Picture a modest commune nestled among the rolling Italian hills, inhabited by humble shepherds and farmers. This, dear listeners, is Rome in its infancy. But every great city has a legendary origin, and Rome is no exception. Enter Romulus and Remus, twin brothers abandoned at birth and, as legend has it, nursed by a she-wolf. Fate had a grand design for these two. They were not merely destined for survival, but for rulership. Yes, these were the mythical founders of Rome, the men who laid the first stones of what would become an awe-inspiring metropolis. Romulus and Remus chose a strategic location for their city, a spot on the banks of the Tiber River. The river provided the nascent city with a lifeline, a means of transportation, and perhaps most importantly a natural defense against hostile forces. As the city grew, so did the complexity of its society. Rome evolved from a monarchy into a republic, a radical concept for the times. At the heart of this republic was the Senate, a political body that governed the city's affairs. It was the Senate that enacted laws, controlled finances, and made crucial decisions in both peace and war. This was Rome in its cradle, a small settlement with big dreams, a community of shepherds and farmers that dared to imagine a different future. A city that rose from the humblest of beginnings, built on the banks of the Tiber, destined to carve its name into the annals of history. From humble beginnings, Rome was set on a path to become a world-altering republic. Before we delve deeper into the fascinating journey of Rome, let's take a brief interlude. If you're enjoying this historical voyage so far, please hit that like button. Your support helps us create more content like this, and if you haven't already, do hit the subscribe button to join us on future explorations. We're a community of history enthusiasts, and we'd love to have you on board. If there's a particular era, civilization, or historical event you'd like to learn about next, let us know in the comments section below. We're always excited to delve into new territories of knowledge. Remember, history is a vast, interconnected tapestry, and your suggestions help us unravel its many threads. Thank you for your engagement and for being a part of our journey into the past. Now, back to Rome. As we rejoin our story, we find the city-state on the brink of a new era, an era of expansion and conquest. So brace yourself as we plunge into the throes of battle, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. For this is the chapter that sees Rome rise from a regional power to a sprawling empire. What fueled Rome's transformation from a modest republic to a vast empire, you may ask? Well, the answer lies in Rome's expansionist policies, a key characteristic of the Roman Republic. Rome was no longer content with being just a city-state on the banks of the Tiber River. It had ambitions of grandeur, and these ambitions were realized through the conquest of neighboring territories. Rome's legions, trained to perfection and disciplined to a fault, marched across the Mediterranean, conquering lands and people. Greece, with its rich history of philosophy and arts, was brought under the Roman banner. Spain, with its abundant resources, was next. Rome's grip on the Mediterranean tightened with every conquest, but the jewel in Rome's expansionist crown was Carthage. Carthage was Rome's greatest rival, a powerful city-state with a formidable navy. The struggle for supremacy between Rome and Carthage, known as the Punic Wars, was brutal and unforgiving. But the Roman Republic emerged victorious, marking a significant chapter in its expansionist narrative. This era of conquest and expansion was not without its heroes, and one of the most famous of them was Julius Caesar. Caesar was a military genius, a charismatic leader whose conquests in Gaul expanded Rome's territories and influence significantly. His military campaigns were not only strategic masterpieces but also a display of his personal courage and leadership. Caesar's conquests in Gaul were wildly popular in Rome. His victories brought wealth and glory to the Republic, earning him immense popularity among the Roman citizens. But his successes also stirred controversy. His increasing power threatened the balance of the Republic, sowing seeds of discord among the ruling elite. Julius Caesar was more than just a military leader. He was a catalyst, a force that set in motion a series of events that would eventually transform the Roman Republic. His actions, controversial as they were instrumental in shaping Rome's destiny. Julius Caesar, a name that still resonates today, was instrumental in sowing the seeds of change in the Roman Republic. And as we will see in the next chapter, these seeds of change would grow into a mighty empire, the likes of which the world had never seen before. How did a republic become an empire, and who were the key players in this momentous shift? A critical turning point in Rome's history was the transition from a republic to an empire. This shift was not a sudden change but a gradual evolution, marked by political maneuvers and military conquests of some ambitious men. The most notable among them was Julius Caesar. After his successful campaigns in Gaul, Caesar returned to Rome, not as a triumphant general, but as a political threat. His popularity among the masses and his control over a loyal military were seen as dangerous by the Senate. The Senate's fear culminated in the infamous Ides of March when Caesar was assassinated. This event, however, did not halt the rise of the empire but instead accelerated it. Emerging from the chaos following Caesar's death was his adopted heir, Octavian, later known as Augustus Caesar. Young, ambitious, and politically adept, Augustus outmaneuvered his rivals to become the sole ruler of Rome. He cleverly maintained the illusion of a republic. The Senate still met, and elections were held, but the real power lay with Augustus. He held the title of princeps, meaning first citizen, but was, in fact, an emperor in all but name. Augustus ushered in a period known as the Pax Romana or Roman peace, a time of relative stability and prosperity. His reign marked the official start of the Roman Empire, an era that would see Rome reach unparalleled heights in terms of power, influence, and wealth. So the transformation from a republic to an empire was not merely a change of governance, but a significant shift in the balance of power. It was an era that saw the rise of individual authority over collective decision-making, the dominance of emperors over senators. In the hands of powerful leaders, Rome evolved from a republic to a vast empire. The rise of the empire, much like the city of Rome itself, was built on ambition, strategy, and an unyielding desire for power. What did the peak of the Roman Empire look like, and how far did its influence reach? Picture this. An empire so vast it spanned from the rainy shores of Britannia in the west to the sun-drenched sands of Egypt in the east. This was the Roman Empire at its peak, a sprawling civilization that held sway over nearly 70 million souls. The empire's reach was not just geographical but cultural, with Roman law, language, and architecture leaving an indelible imprint on the societies it touched. Emperors like Trajan and Hadrian were instrumental in shaping the empire's prosperity. Under Trajan's rule, the empire expanded to its maximum territorial extent, and public projects, such as the construction of new roads and aqueducts, flourished. His successor Hadrian fortified the empire's frontiers and invested heavily in the arts and architecture, leaving us with iconic structures like Hadrian's Wall and the Pantheon. The Roman Empire's governance was another testament to its greatness. The administrative system was incredibly efficient for its time, with provinces managed by governors appointed by the emperor. This centralization of power allowed for uniformity in law and order, taxation, and defense across the diverse and vast empire. The Roman Empire was not just a military force, it was a cultural powerhouse. Its influence can still be felt today in modern legal systems, architecture, and languages. Latin, the language of Rome, is the forebear of the Romance languages, and has influenced scientific, medical, and legal terminologies. Moreover, the Romans were adept at assimilating the best aspects of the cultures they conquered, creating a unique blend of customs, philosophies, and arts. This cultural fusion led to a shared identity among the empire's diverse populations, which was a crucial factor in maintaining unity and stability. The Roman Empire at its zenith was a beacon of cultural, political, and military might. A civilization that not only conquered lands and peoples but also left a lasting legacy that continues to shape our world today. The Roman Empire's peak was indeed a remarkable era in world history, a testament to human achievement and ambition. How did a seemingly invincible empire crumble and fall? The Roman Empire, once a beacon of civilization and a powerhouse of military might, began to falter. The reasons were many, and they were both internal and external. Internally, the empire was rife with political corruption and economic instability. The once revered Senate was now a hotbed of infighting and power struggles. Emperors, more concerned with personal gain than the welfare of the state, led to a decline in public confidence and morale. The economy was another Achilles heel. Rome's vast territory meant a massive expenditure on maintaining armies and fortifications. At the same time, the empire's wealth was dwindling. Trade routes were disrupted by wars, and the once fertile farmlands were overworked and underproducing. Externally, the empire faced threats on all fronts. The Huns, Visigoths, and Vandals, to name a few, were at the gates. The mighty Roman legions, once feared throughout the known world, were spread thin and could not defend every frontier. The death blow came in the year 476 AD. The young emperor Romulus Augustus was overthrown by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer, marking the end of the Western Roman Empire. Rome, the eternal city, was sacked, and the grandeur that was Rome was no more. It's worth noting that the fall of the Roman Empire didn't happen overnight. It was a gradual process marked by decades of decline. And even in its fall, the empire left behind a rich legacy. Its legal systems, architectural wonders, and philosophical ideas continue to shape the world we live in today. The fall of the Roman Empire serves as a stark reminder of the transient nature of power and the consequences of internal decay and external pressures. Despite its military prowess and cultural sophistication, Rome could not withstand the test of time. The once mighty Roman Empire met its end, not with a bang but with a whimper.